Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is this makeup, which is very much every day. I'm very aware of that, but I'm using a whole bunch of new products that I bought while I was on vacation at Sephora and some drugstores. So some of them I absolutely love and think they're amazing. Other ones, maybe not so much because of my skin type and texture. But if you want to see how I did this makeup look using some new products, then just keep on watching. I haven't done a sit down makeup tutorial in a good couple of weeks, and I got a lot of new beauty bits whenever we were in Florida at Sephora. I'm pretty sure I can get everything over here in the UK. If not, I'll try and link my best alternative, but I'm pretty sure everything can be shipped here. So let's get into it. I feel like my hair might be a little annoying, so I'm gonna use these cute little clips that came in a Huda Beauty PR pack. I did a quick little start of a tutorial in my last vlog, but then family came over and it just got cut short. But I was using these little SAIE super glowy gels. I have two shades here, Rose Glow and Warm Glow. I think I might mix one of each. Rose obviously has a rose tint to it, surprising. And then Warm Glow is a little bit more neutral with a slight golden undertone. These are quite a versatile product. You can either put it on before makeup like I'm doing, or you can mix it into your makeup. You can put it on top. I don't find them incredibly glittery. Like, it's truly just a glow, like they say. It's a gel formula, so I like it because I have oilier skin. I don't feel like it adds any extra slip or greasiness to my skin. It truly just adds a glow, and that's all I want. I think there's mixed opinions or reviews on this product, if I'm correct, but I do like it for my skin type. I think that's what you need to consider whenever you're indulging in beauty content. Really look at the creator's skin type and texture, and sometimes that helps you understand if the product suits them or if it will suit you. I obviously have combination oily skin and pores in my T-zone area, so I don't like anything that's super shiny or really oily. I mean, you can work around some products, but for everyday use, I feel like a gel consistency for my skin type is good. Now, I did also use this product in that vlog. It's the Lumi Le Glow Tint in 200 Neutral. And I started off putting it on being like, oh, this is way too shiny for my skin. It's just reflecting every pore possible. But then I finished my makeup with like powder and everything, and it looked bomb. I also used it yesterday. Again, full face of makeup, bomb. I wouldn't use this for like an everyday use with like no powder or concealer or anything. Like, it's a full makeup look for me just because of how reflective the particles are in it. It just kind of amplifies pores for me. So I do like it, but I need it to be worked with other products to work. I also got this at Sephora. I have only just heard of this brand. I think it's more of a US brand. It's InnBeauty, INN Beauty Project, and it's the Mineral Sun Glow Broad Spectrum SPF 43. Don't know why 43. Anyways, UVA, UVB, blue light and antioxidant protection. And I believe it was in the clean beauty section in Sephora skincare. Don't know if I can link this one for UK because I do think it's a US brand only, but I loved it. It is incredibly lightweight on the skin. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more. And I love the protection that obviously it offers. I would say it's maybe more so on the light to undetectable coverage when it comes to skin tints, but for everyday use, that is totally up my street. You can see as I'm applying it, you're not gonna get massive coverage. If that's not what you're looking for, like myself, then you will love it. I feel like my skin is finally starting to settle down a little bit. Whenever I go on vacation to somewhere warm, and obviously you're indulging a little bit more in different foods and sugars and all that, my skin reacts. It's like purging. So I feel like I'm in a little bit more of a healing stage. You can see some of the scars of the areas that I picked. Do not pick your skin, but it's definitely calming down a lot. It just, the sun, the sweat, the ingredients in some of the food really take a toll on my skin. So I'm happy to see it calm down a little bit. This concealer is definitely newer. It's the Tower28 one in the shade EP, and I've been loving it. I'm kind of regretting that I didn't get a shade lighter because this works for me now because I still have tan from being on holidays, but I know that will leave, and it is so good. A lot of creators have been raving about it, and I can see why. It is quite thin in consistency, so you get a lot of slip from this. What I want to do, there's Patty walking by the window. I like to apply it first and then literally step away and just let it set for a little bit, and I kind of go onto my bronzer, and then once it's settled a little bit, I feel like the coverage is a little bit higher and it blends out really nice. If you don't want as full coverage, blend it pretty quickly, but if you want a little bit more coverage and staying power, just let it sit for a bit. Wanted to quickly mention these drops. I got them at a drugstore, can't remember which one. I'm not crazy about them. I have the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops and I prefer those. I don't feel like there's a crazy illuminator involved in that product. It just truly gives a bronzed effect to whatever I'm mixing it into, where this one definitely has a high shimmer content. So again, if you have a similar skin type to me where you have more open pores, oily skin, or texture, this might illuminate it a little bit more just because you're putting it everywhere. I don't know, maybe I need to play around with it a little bit more. Let me know in the comments if you have this and how you like to apply it. If you have a similar skin type to me, I'm indifferent with this. I might pass it on to someone that I think it might be better suited to. I want to indulge in a little bit more of a bronzy look because I can get away with it having a little bit of color on my face. So I'm taking the Pearl Medium Bronzer, just warming it up with my Duo brush. It's synthetic bristles, but it's a little bit softer on this side, so I feel like I get a more sparse finish. And I'm just going to stipple that onto my cheekbones. I just want a little bit more definition, and then I'm going to go in with a different bronzing product that has a different undertone in it to give an overall sun-kissed look. The reason why I love using this medium bronzer from Pearl is it's perfect if you have a natural suntan. So the difference between tans and undertones is whenever the sun gives you a little bit of a tan, there's always an undertone or a tint of red in it. That's just normally how skin reacts to the sun. Even if you have an olive skin tone, especially on the face, like it just reacts a little bit more of like a reddish brown tint, and so it looks more complementary when the bronzer has that to give you more of a I've been in the sun all day, where when you have that orange or really olivey undertone, that's more of like a fake tanner, mousse, cream, whatever it is kind of effect. So because I already have a tan from the sun, this is going to give me the most natural looking bronzed look, but I do still like those orange undertone bronzers just to kind of give it a little bit more of a softer, I don't know, I like the tone of it, so I just like to mix the two shades. This product is new and I have been loving it. I have seen a lot of people rave about it. It is so good. It's the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I got it in the shade medium. It does have that true warm orange tan undertone in it. It is a very thin consistency of a balm, similar to the Pearl bronzer. I would say a touch lighter in consistency, and I just love the shade that it gives. It works with my skin type really, really nicely, and I just like mixing these bronzers at the moment. I'm quite liberal with this application because we still have the concealer to blend out. So I know if I've overused any bronzer, it will be tamed by the concealer once I blend that. All right, I'm gonna start stippling in that concealer so then it blends out any over blending of the bronzer and gives me a little bit more coverage in the areas that I wanted it. Whenever I finish blending, like rough blending under my eyes, I always use my finger just to smooth out any creasing because that's just going to happen. It's inevitable. And I try not to go too high with the concealer. I'm into this skin. There is a lot of cream on my face at the moment. So before I put some powder in areas that I really want to snatch, I need to do an all over powder so that it grips better and it doesn't leave any patches. So obviously I love to use the pressed powder from Pearl. I'm going to use the larger side of the Pearl duo-ended brush, and I'm being quite liberal with the application. I'm using the shade Light, but you can use translucent or medium, and I'm just softly dabbing the areas that I want to put a little bit more loose powder after this because I need a base. If I was to go on straight with that loose powder to really diminish the look of pores or just snatching areas I want a little bit more, it could look a little cakey or patched because you're putting a thick powdery substance on top of a really creamy, slippy substance. So the first time you touch it, it's gonna grab onto that and it might not blend out nicely. So if you just have a slight, very thin veil of powder on before you do that, the results are gonna be way better. Now this product is also new and it cut me off in the last video before I showed you this. I am obsessed. I follow this makeup artist on Instagram and she did a review on it and she was a little hesitant because it's quite a pink loose formula, and I had just finished my Givenchy one that I absolutely love and she was in awe of it. So I'm just putting a little bit on the lid. You can see the pink tone of it. I have the pink, I think it's Cherry Blossom from Huda Beauty, and I don't really gravitate to it. I like the pound cake version a little bit better, or the color, sorry. But this one goes literally invisible, but it's still brightening. So I'm gonna use my powder puff, get it onto there, and really make sure I get any excess off. And I'm going to press it where I want no pores, fine lines, and I want to brighten up the skin a little bit. And the results are insane. Like, it's truly invisible. It's so finely, like, I don't want to say milled because it's just loose powder. It's not pressed or anything, but it just looks so natural on the face. It also is going on really, really smoothly because we did that little pressed powder trick prior to applying this. Now that there's powder on our face, we can work with a couple more powder products. This is also new. It's the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. I got it in the shade All Butted Up. I don't know if it's like the right shade. It's a little bit more of a cool, there's like a pinky undertone in it. I mean, it's absolutely fine. It smells really good, but if you're not into like those high smell formulas, you're not gonna like this. I just kind of want to press this on top of the bronzer that we put right under my cheekbones, like all in the defining areas, just for longevity reasons. And I have a couple more things to film today, so we're going a little bit more heavy-handed. Brows, I just got a new Kosas Airbrow in a more suitable shade now that I'm a little bit darker. I used to wear the shade taupe, and now I like soft brown. I think it's a really good fit. I'm really indecisive with my brows at the moment. I'm letting them grow out a little bit, so don't mind all the hair underneath. But this gives me a little bit of depth, structure. It also just fans them out. I've used this so many times, just in a different shade in so many previous videos. But if you want a quick, easy brow, and this product, it does the job. Oh, don't put it on your forehead like I did. For some reason it's saying it's internal overheating, which potentially is concerning. I finished off my brows, and then I did a couple coats after curling my lashes of the Pearl at Last mascara in black. I also added a couple little freckles because I naturally had a couple coming through from being in the sun. I've just used the Utan freckle pen. I think it's the best one, the most natural looking one, a couple little dots, and then I just spread it out wherever I see some natural freckles coming through the makeup. For blush, I don't want this to be a blush heavy look. Crazy, I know. I'm gonna take the Core Essentials palette and mix Put Together and Easygoing. So it's a peachier rose shade. And I'm gonna keep it on the highest point of my cheeks. Just already where the sun has hit my face, I'm just going to accentuate it a touch more. Also on my eyelids and a little on my forehead. I feel like I can take these out now, but I came home to a couple PR packages, one of them being from Fenty Beauty, and there's a couple lip products. So we're gonna try something new together. Don't mind my hair if it's looking a little crazy. I'm gonna take this lip liner I've never seen before. It's in the shade Traced Out. It looks quite dark and cool toned, so we'll see how it goes. It's a very soft pencil in the sense where it glides on quickly, which can be a little hard to use. I wouldn't say that's the most user-friendly because if you slip up, it's quite obvious. So I'd go slow with this or just really blend it out like I'm doing right now so it's not such a harsh line. I mean, I love the color. I feel like this also would look really pretty on the eyes, so I'm just gonna put a tiny bit at the corner to wing it out. I love the tone. I just really think you need to like blend it in, maybe because of my skin tone being a little light, but it blends out so easy, and I feel like it's also a formula that's gonna last, so I like it. Okay, this is also new. It's the Fenty Skin Fenty Treats Hydrating and Strengthening Lip Oil in the shade Black Cherry. I'm not getting Black Cherry shade, but maybe the scent is Black Cherry. I mean, it's a very nice feel on my lips, and I'm kind of glad that it doesn't actually deepen the color because I think the liner is enough for depth. So, okay, that's it. This is the final look. Lots of new products were used. Everything, as always, will be linked down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.